Heck
Mr.
yeah.
Justin Medeiros. Thanks so much for making the time, man.
Yeah, dude, for sure. I'm pumped. I'm excited for this. I'm excited.
I love it, man. So tell us, what does a typical Saturday look like for Justin?
Saturday. So yeah, I actually just moved up with my coach in Vancouver, Washington. So my Saturdays look a little bit different now, but yeah, I kind of wake up in the morning, get to the gym. I normally try to eat breakfast beforehand, and then kind of my whole day's at the gym. I start out do a morning session. Kind of we have like a nice little space upstairs. Go eat some lunch, hang out. And kind of just work out all day. I try to rope as many people as I can in to my workouts. That's kind of my goal on Friday. Like, hey, what you guys planning for the weekend? What are you guys doing? Just try to rope as many people in to come on Saturdays and throw down with me. But yeah, the weekends are big training days.
Love it, man. And how long have you been doing CrossFit for?
But quite a while, honestly. I first started CrossFit in 2012, so I was 13. I was pretty young. My parents got me into it, but I did it only like over the summertime. I did two sports, wrestling and football. So I kind of just did it like when I wasn't in school and on the weekends, kind of on Saturdays. And then that was in seventh grade for me. And then kind of started taking it more seriously on the latter end of high school.
Love it. And what did you do with your games earnings from last year?
Dude, saved it.
Good
I
man.
haven't
Good
touched
man.
it at all. It was pretty cool. I actually, there's been a lot of, all the athletes have been super awesome and kind of reaching out to them, kind of see what they've been doing. I mean, I never would have thought in a million years that I'd make money, working out. So it was a pretty crazy thing to do. I'm like, dude, I'm like, looking at my bank account, like, this is awesome. Like I had no idea what to do. I was like, I'm 20 years old, used to living on a college budget. Like this is definitely pretty cool. But yeah, the plan's just save as much as I can.
Awesome. And when you were younger, who did you have on your wall? Like any posters, anyone you kind of idols you had on your wall?
I never had too many posters. Like I grew up like riding dirt bikes and stuff, so I kind of had like some Ricky Carmichael, Travis Pastrana kind of dirt bike posters up on my wall. But other than that, yeah, not too many.
What movie makes you cry with laughter?
Oh, there's some good ones. I mean, Step Brothers, I think is a classic movie, but if I had to go with the show, man, I've watched The Off probably like 5 times. That just gets me going. It
Yeah,
gets me
bro.
going good.
For sure. And what's your favorite album or artist right now?
Dude, Morgan Wallen, I'm a country guy right now, so I've listened to a lot of Morgan Wallen, fellow mullet wearer. You kind of got to go with him. I don't know if you're into country music, but he's got a pretty good he's got a mullet going too, so I got to support.
I'll look them up and try it out. And is there any artists that people would be surprised that you like?
I wouldn't say artist, but I definitely love, like I have a playlist on my phone just called like 80s jams. This like oldies, like old school music. So I love that a lot. This oldies music and country music. Those are just kind of like my two go-tos.
Love it. And when did you start growing the mullet?
Honestly, not too long ago. It was probably about 2 years ago. I wrestled in or probably yeah, 2 years ago. I wrestled throughout high school, and I was planning to go to college. So when I wrestled, I had a buzz cut, like just complete buzz. Like if I could grab my hair, I'm like, all right, time to go get a haircut. So I had a buzz cut for the longest time, and then I didn't end up wrestling in college, and I started growing out my hair, and I'm like, dude, my hair's curly. Like I never knew this. So like I kind of grew it out long, and I had no idea what to do with it. My friend told me to cut it into a mullet, and I did. And then I happened to do a CrossFit competition right after that, and it kind of stuck. And I'm like, well, I mean, hey, I guess I'm rocking it for a while.
So good, man. And what would you say is your spirit animal if you had a
Spirit
spirit animal?
animal. Hmm. I don't think I have a spirit animal that comes to mind, but if I had to be a animal, it'd be like an eagle. I just want to be able to like just soar and just cruise around. I feel like that would be awesome. Always wanted to fly.
And coming up as a young CrossFitter, was there any particular athletes that you like look up to or followed in particular?
Definitely. I mean, I grew up, I went to the 2015 CrossFit Games just as a volunteer. And I remember like seeing all these athletes on TV, and I was so awesome to see them, like Rich Froning, Jason Khalipa. Those are kind of like the two like main guys at the time. So I was so excited to see them on TV. I thought Jason Khalipa was like 6'2", 220. Like 15-year-old me was thinking this guy is massive. And don't get me wrong, Jason Khalipa is a stocky dude, but I saw him in person, like, dude, he's like he's like an inch taller than me. Like, this is crazy. Same thing with Rich Froning. I remember I was working down like below the stadium, and we hopped in the elevator, and they both got in the elevator with me, and I was just like losing it. But super awesome to see those guys. And I definitely was like a diehard Rich Froning fan, like when I first started, and I was just like, this new guy Frazier trying to take down Froning, like, who is this guy? But definitely be able to meet him and kind of learn like about who he is more recently. I mean, I have a lot of respect for that guy.
Awesome, man. And what is your go-to workout song?
Go-to workout song. Gotta think.
Or workout music. What kind of music do you
workout music? I mean, I love. It depends what I'm doing. If I'm like just like working out, like just like a full day of training, I love country music. I like to kind of like sing along and kind of get into my training. But if I'm going just for like a max out or something like that, I just want something loud. There's something loud. That's all that really matters. I'm definitely not into screamo though, so we gotta bring it down a little bit. But other than that, it's kind of free reign in the gym. Try to kind of hit all the genres.
Yeah. What about your karaoke song? Have you got a karaoke song that you go to?
Kind of random, but like one of my friends one time, they were just like, you know how cool it would be to like know all the words to Ice Ice Baby? And I was like, dude, that kind of would be pretty cool. So I know all the words to Ice Ice Baby, and I think I could throw down some karaoke with Ice Ice Baby.
That is awesome. If you could play any other sport professionally, what would that be?
Oh, there's a lot of sports I love, but if I had to be like the best in any other sport, I think it would be awesome to be like just like a UFC fighter. Just like if you were like the best UFC fighter out there, like you just know you walk into any room and like you're just the baddest dude in the room. Like you can mess up anybody. I thought that would be a pretty cool feeling.
For sure. And what emoji do you use the most when sending messages?
Honestly, I get made fun of. I put like a laughing emoji after like every single text message I send because I just find everything way too funny. But that's definitely my most used emoji.
Yeah. And from last year's games, what would you say was your most memorable moment from last year's games?
And the first thing that comes, I mean, I have a lot of memorable moments with my first game. Definitely got to soak it all in. But I would go with two of them. One being just like being around like all those athletes, just like the five of us, we got like, I think it was just a lot more personal experience than would have been like on any other games. And then two, I mean, there's no, I'm ever going to forget the trail run. I think it was so awesome to be a part of that. I mean, one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to go to the games growing up was like every year at the games, they throw out something new that like no one else has done. Like they've thrown out the pig, like the plow, like it's like the snail, like all these crazy movements. I'm like, it's awesome to watch athletes go out there and just like try to figure out how to do this thing like on the spot. Like there was no practice. You just got to use your fitness to like the best of your ability. And we didn't get too much of that at this past year's games, but we got that trail run, which was just no one knew that was coming. And that was pretty awesome to do. And it looked like I pushed Matt, so that was pretty awesome to be able to kind of give that guy a run for his money. I felt like it was closer than it was, but it was definitely pretty awesome to be a part of that and kind of push him along that trail run. That's definitely something I'll never forget.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. And when did you actually realize that you were pretty decent at CrossFit? Like when did you realize, like, oh, I'm actually good at this thing?
Yeah, honestly, probably not till this past year. I mean,
Wow.
I've always competed at it, and I felt like everything I've ever done, like I've had to work really hard at it. And that's not saying I was never good at anything, but it's like if I had to do it, I had to work really hard. And that's how I kind of viewed CrossFit. I did it because I loved it, and I've always been able to compete. But and don't get me wrong, I always try to compete to be the best and try to make the games. That was always my end goal. But like I qualified through Ireland, and I was just like, just no, did not expect that to happen at all, especially to get first there. And then to train all year, I was just like, everyone thinks this is a fluke. Like, I'm going to train my butt off to make sure that like this is not a fluke. And going into the stage one of the games, my goal is top 20. I was like, if I get top 20, like this is a win. And like long shot goal would be top 10 would be crazy. But I would have never thought I'd be top 5, let alone podium. So that was a pretty crazy eye-opening experience for me, and all the opportunities that have come after that has been definitely really crazy, and it kind of has switched my mindset. Like I am one of the best at this sport, and I'm definitely fires me up and want to work even harder.
So good, man. And what's one lesson that you've learned this year?
One lesson. I mean, honestly, the first thing that comes to mind is that sandbag hill sprint at the games that eats away at me a lot. If you guys do not know what happened, we had event 2, and it was a sandbag hill run up this hill, and it for one was way worse than I was expecting. And we got up to the top, and it was obviously 5 athletes, and we all were kind of. It was the last like 10 meters, and it kind of like wedged into like a single file line, like through this little gap in the trees over. And I just kind of figured like the 3 guys in front of me, the way they went through that gap was the way they crossed the finish line. And I thought I had a good pace behind me, so I didn't fully sell out like through the finish line, and it came back to bite me. And I definitely something that sits with me, and I promise that will never happen again. So that's definitely one thing I learned from that experience. And to end it on a little bit of a higher note than that is after the games, it was definitely a pretty eye-opening experience for me, and just knowing that when I give my best, like it's enough. And because all year I just wasn't sure. I was just giving my best every day in training, and I didn't know where that was going to put me. And I could look back at last year and know I gave it everything I had. And I may have not won the CrossFit Games, but I was definitely very proud of where I ended up. And I think that there's only room to like keep improving. And if I keep giving my best effort every day, I don't know where my ceiling's going to be. And that's pretty exciting.
Totally, man. And ring muscle ups or bar muscle ups?
I think I'm better at bar muscle ups, but I have to go with the ring muscle ups. I think they're a way better test of fitness. I feel like you can manipulate yourself around the bar, but the rings are just like, it's what you can do. I think it's way cooler to say I've done 30 unbroken ring muscle ups and 30 unbroken bar muscle ups. So I definitely ring muscle ups.
What about running and rowing? Running or rowing?
Oh, that's not a good combo. I don't like. I've spent a lot of time on the rower this year, and I'm learning to love it. So I'm gonna go with rowing.
And where's your favorite place to hang out, just to chill out?
Favorite place to hang out, man. I spend a lot of time at the gym. Honestly, we have a lot of fun people that come down there and throw down. And I think I have some of my best memories just kind of at the gym, whether it's like doing some gnarly workouts, dragging someone into my training. I had this workout the other day. I was like, oh, dude, so easy. Like, just come back. It's one session. It's going to take like an hour, but like the workout's not that hard. It's such little work and such long rest. It's going to be great. And we both ended up puking on it. So it was an eye-opening experience, but super fun just to kind of be in there. We play spike ball, pickleball. We play random games, trying to like shoot our tape like into the trash can after. Like we always bring the football, frisbee. Just being in the gym is definitely a happy place for me.
Awesome, man. And if you're not training, what else do you like doing?
There's definitely a lot of stuff I love. I mean, I try to, on my rest days, I kind of like to go out to the field, play catch, bring like the football and frisbee out there, run routes. I think that's always super fun. And I grew up on 5 acres at home, so it's not a huge piece of property, but we always have quads and dirt bikes, and we like to shoot skeet and all that stuff. So it's kind of like be outside and kind of do all the things.
Yeah, nice. And do you have any weird talents? Any weird talents?
Weird talents. Not anything weird, but I learned how to juggle over quarantine, and I was very, very proud of it. So I learned how to ride a unicycle, and I learned how to juggle. And now my goal is to be able to do those simultaneously. So that's my big plans for 2021.
I love it. And what would you say is your worst habit? Have you got any bad habits?
Bad habits. I mean, I don't know if it's a habit, but I don't like not knowing things. So like knowing like you overhear something, oh, well, what were you guys saying? Like, oh, nothing, like it's not important. And then it like eats away at me. Like it might actually be nothing, but like I want to know what you guys were talking about. So that's kind of a little bit, I'm like, no, come on, dude, like tell me, like, dude, it was nothing. I'm like, no, like I have to, it's gonna eat away the rest of the day. Like, can you please just tell me? So that's kind of a bad habit, but
yeah. What about your best habit?
Best habit. It's kind of bad and good, but I don't like sucking at things. So if I find something I'm bad at, I'm going to do it until I'm really good at it. So I would say that's kind of my best one.
Totally. And what would be your number one fitness advice for anyone watching?
Number one fitness advice. I'd say have fun, enjoy the process. If you're going to go in every day and train, especially if you're trying to be a competitor and you're not enjoying the process, like it's definitely, you're not going to get the results that you could. I mean, don't get me wrong, you're going to have those days that are hard, but ultimately, if you finish that day, it just feels good. That it feels good that you finished that day, especially being able to go into the gym and just throw down with like awesome people. I mean, that's the best of it. I don't care what caliber you're at, but be able to walk into the gym and everyone do the same workout. And one person might get 10 rounds, another person might get 3 rounds. But after that workout, you guys are both the same. And that's my favorite thing. If it just finding the enjoyment in the process is definitely my advice.
Good advice. And if you were not a CrossFit athlete, what would be your dream job?
Dream
Get
job.
to do a job. Yeah.
I've always been into fitness. So I thought it'd be really awesome to be like a personal trainer for like a college team. So like be able to like be on a college campus, like be the fitness coach for like the football and basketball team and kind of work with all those athletes. I think that would be something that's super cool and definitely something that's still open in the future if I want to do it.
For sure. And if you could have lunch with anyone living or dead, who would that be?
Yeah, I got in this weird kick lately of I listen to a lot of Joe Rogan podcasts. I'm sure you're familiar with him. And
Yeah.
I love how he has like a bunch of like different people on there. And he had this guy on there named Neil deGrasse Tyson. And he is an astrophysicist, something that I don't know anything about, but I kind of dove in the rabbit hole. I bought his book called Astrophysics for People in a Hurry. And it's all about space. And this stuff just mind blows me. So it'd be pretty cool to kind of sit down and talk to him or Elon Musk. I think those would be two cool people that they just know so much about so many things. I think it'd be cool to sit down and kind of pick their brain.
For sure. And how much time do you spend on social media per day on average, should you say?
Probably more than I should. You get in those rabbit holes of finding things, but I would say a couple hours for sure.
Yeah.
Just like in between sessions where I'm kind of sitting there mindlessly scrolling. But there's definitely a lot of good content out there. So
Totally.
yeah.
And what are 3 words that you think describe you best?
I don't like doing this to myself, but I'd like to say I'm hardworking, I'm passionate, and determined.
Love it. Great words. And lastly, question number 30. Boxers or briefs?
Definitely boxers. I'm a boxer guy.
Yeah.
The briefs, there's too much freedom and I don't know if I can handle it. So it's too much freedom. I need to be constrained. So yeah, I'm definitely that.
Boxers, man. I'm with you, man. I'm with you. I love it, man. Well, it's good to get to know you better. Thanks so much for doing that. And maybe we can do it again sometime and do some more questions.
Thanks so much for having me on. That was awesome. Those awesome questions.
No worries, man.
Just